You're not earning 1.08 million points per year, you don't have a system. You have a credit card. The reality is the right card can be a good strategic business tool. You can 3x every single dollar. If you're spending 30K a month, I can show you how to transform that into 90K. That's close to 3 return business class trips to Europe with only taxes to pay.
Well, welcome to another absolute awesome episode of Scale to Freedom. Today we've got a guy that's actually helped me to travel all over the world, create freedom for me. Gagan Gupta, mate, it is great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here, Kel.
Mate, we've got a topic today, and the topic is how to use everyday expenses to build a freedom business ecosystem. This is going to be something very different than a lot of you have ever heard. Not just about how do you go out and use your American Express and get some points. That's one part of many pieces. But we are going to start to hear about this whole freedom business ecosystem that you can create for yourself. So, mate, I'm looking forward to this one.
I like it how you say it, freedom ecosystem. I'm going to steal that and use it in my marketing.
That's what it is. So we're going to get started. Now, you and I have known each other for some time, and you've shown me some amazing strategies. We've taught my VAs and everything on how to do some of this stuff. But I guess let's get straight into the meat of this. Most business owners, they're already spending 10, 50K per month on expenses. But there's a real problem here. They're just spending it out and not getting anything for it. Can you help the listeners understand a little bit about what you do and what you mean by creating this business ecosystem for spending in these structures?
Sure. Is it okay if I share by way of example, because we learn better and understand better if it's
Absolutely, mate. Love case studies.
okay? So let's say you're spending 30K a month on your business, Kel, assuming, right? If you're not earning 1.08 million points per year, you don't have a system. You have a credit card. Some of the clients I speak to are not even earning 30,000 points a month. Like they don't even have a normal card, right? Because never had card, used to pay everything through the bank account, didn't believe in cards. But the reality is the right card can be a good strategic business tool. You don't need one, but if you use it properly, you can 3x every single dollar, right? So if you're spending 30K a month, I can show you how to get 90, how to transform that into 90K. What's 90 by 12? 1.08 million. Now, if you had a million points, buddy, you already booked a few flights. You know what that means. Without any exaggeration, that's close to 3 return business class trips to Europe with only taxes to pay.
Mate, I know it. I know it's real. I've actually been doing this now since you showed me. Like I'm actually only a couple of weeks away from going back to Australia. I live in Thailand. I live the freedom life, and that's what Scale to Freedom is all about. And you've shown me how to do this. And what was it? $256, I think I paid in taxes. But the rest of it on points that I'd gathered to fly first class back from Thailand back to Australia. That was just awesome. I can't wait for this experience. And it's in Singapore Airlines. I am just hanging out to actually get in.
Looking forward to it. Let me just complete the ecosystem. Let's assume there is a circle made up of 3 arcs. Right? Assume there's a circle made up of 3 arcs. Now, the first arc is how do you convert your business expenses into points, which we just talked about. And I'm actually running a masterclass tonight. We go into a whole lot more detail. The second way to earn points is at an insanely low cost.
Yeah.
Which is the strategy you've been using. You can actually buy points for a third or a fourth of the price. The third strategy that completes the arc or the circle is you can get up to 500,000. If you're living in Australia, you can get up to 500,000 points a year organically, which means free. So when you earn points dirt cheap, when you can buy the points legitimately, I'm not talking those shady airlines, those shady businesses that sell you points illegally. I'm talking legitimately. And when you convert your business expenses into points, mate, you could be sitting anywhere between 1 to 2 million points a year, and that's enough to take a family of four to pretty much most parts of the world.
It's exactly right. And I think where we're sitting up, and a lot of us in business, we're working hard and
Yeah.
we talk about leverage and leveraging our time and leveraging everything.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the key factors. Like every business has got expenses, and we don't leverage those expenses. We think just using our credit card and getting a couple of points from that is all that's available. But there is so much more. And yeah, as you said, yeah, we can run some masterclasses and we'll give you some details a little bit later on. There'll be links and everything in here in the Scale of Freedom podcast on how to actually attend one of his masterclasses. But they're worthwhile going to. But let's just continue on. So tell me some of the things that you personally. So tell me some of the flights that you've gone on around the world. I know you were just had another international flight just recently. So tell us some of the experiences you've had purely and simply because of this system.
Well, I'll start with the domestic experience because I've just realized someone said this to me that the Australian domestic market is $1.2 billion in travel. And would you believe the international market is a lot lower than that, right? Which completely blew me away. And here's a fact for you. I just came back from Perth a couple of weeks ago. And for some reason, Melbourne to Perth, I don't know why, it's so expensive in business
Yeah.
class. We're talking 3 to 4 grand, right? It's like AFL Gamers on, but that's just a normal pricing. During AFL, that pricing goes up to like 7 to 8 grand. We're talking domestic, right? I spent $180 return in
Yeah.
business using
Crazy.
my organic points, right? So back to your question about wonderful experiences. So two come to mind straight away, and I even remember the dates. 6th of August and 10th of August, 2024. I went to Singapore on Singapore Airlines for $105 in first class using points. Just full disclaimer, this is not some, coupon code or any magic happening over here. This is not a travel agent deal or anything. I had to pay a lot of points, almost 200,000 velocity points, most of which I got for free or organically with various deals. And Singapore Airlines first class, you were hanging out for Singapore Airlines business class. Think about Singapore Airlines first class,
Yeah.
right? So it's everything is 3x, right? I recently had the pleasure of going to Singapore Airlines first class private room in Singapore, and I'm telling you, it's like a 7-star hotel.
Yeah.
Like literally, right? So that was one experience. And the cabin itself, the staff, the crew members, it's like a different experience. You are treated like a celebrity, right? Then the second one is Emirates first class. I recently had the pleasure of traveling first class with Emirates. Literally last month, I went to India for an impromptu trip. Just felt like booking 7 days ago. Did my booking, applied for my visa. Born in India, but I still have to apply for a visa to go to my own country where I was born because I'm an Australian citizen now. Funny that, but got my visa, I got the tickets, went over there, came back. The longer leg from Dubai to Melbourne in Emirates first class. Now that is a $14,000 ticket. I booked it for 3,700 AUD using one of the platforms we've been talking about to convert your expenses into points, right?
Yeah.
For somebody willing to fork out 4 to 5 to 6 grand on business, you can spend almost the cost of premium economy, maybe a little more, but travel in first. Big difference.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
difference.
that raises a really important question because a lot of people in businesses saying, "Oh, gee whiz, like if I was to travel first class or business class and everything," and they get themselves stuck in a mindset that why should I fork out the extra money or why should I go in luxury? Does it give the wrong impression of me as a business owner? So yeah, business owners are saying out there, look, I want to travel economy because I don't want to look like I'm uppity or, tall poppy syndrome we have in Australia. But what do you mean by having a luxury travel or a business strategy in your travel system?
So I want to address that first because you raise a really good point. And I struggled with this when I was in the
Mm.
corporate. And you know what it is? It's thinking like you are not enough.
Yeah.
It's not giving yourself permission to receive.
Yes.
Now, in that one line, there's quite a few meanings. You know
Mm.
exactly what I'm talking about. We love to give, but our egos or whatever it is stop us from receiving. Because have you looked at a child always asking for a lolly or a chocolate? They have no shame in asking or receiving. If you
Yeah.
say no, it's not the end of the world for them. We are afraid of rejections. And we
Mm.
create this bubble around us, and that forces us to remain comfortable and keep on doing things we've always done. And if I go back and look back at every single one of my 200 business clients I've coached, right? It's not like everything is planned, guaranteed. They are risk takers and they've taken risks to get where they want to. But the biggest thing is they've given themselves permission to try new things.
Mm.
My clients who book the flights the fastest, I mean, after session one, I mean, after week one or month one, are not clients who are spending 10 million or 10K a month. Doesn't matter. It depends on how much they're willing to learn and what's the fire in the belly like. It's got nothing to do with spend. My barber who spends 2K a month on business expenses. I normally don't take clients who are spending less than 10K. He's spending 2K. They heard me talking one day. His wife approached me and said, please take on as clients. I first refused, but eventually agreed. They're traveling to Japan in business class for the first time in their lives. Yes, it's a little more hard work because the spend is not there. And that's why when you're spending 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, it's easier to get the points. But if somebody who's spending 2K a month can travel to Japan in business class with Singapore Airlines and return with Japan Airlines business class with points, most of them organic, I mean, come on.
Yeah. It is a no brainer. And I think I want to take a little tangent and we'll come back here, the points, and just say to folks, here's Dag and I talking. We're talking here online, and there's been a big influx of, since COVID, we're out of COVID now, and the online summits and stuff like that still happen. But the reality is we're human beings and we like to spend time with people. And so the events are starting to rise up. There's a lot more events, live events going on all around the world.
Mm,
And those people, those events that are worthwhile going to are starting to stop doing their online events and they start doing more live events, which means you've got to travel. Unless
very
you
good
like
point.
live in that one location where everybody comes to and don't
Mm,
feel yourself, you won't. Doesn't matter if you live in Sydney, Melbourne, or some of these capital cities.
mm.
The reality is there'll always be an event on that's worthwhile going to. And then you go, oh, gee whiz, I don't want to travel there. Yeah. And travel becomes a barrier to your business. And what we're talking about here today, folks, is how to take away that barrier, how to open the world up for your exploration, not just for your own comfort and for, to give yourself a bit of a treat, but also to expand your business ideas. And some, depending on how you gather your points and where you gather your points, for instance, Qantas, you can use Qantas points to be able to buy the accommodation as well. So it's not just about the flights, it's about accommodations and car travel and everything that you need to, as a business expense, to be able to get to those events and get to those locations that'll help you, again, leverage what you're already doing rather than actually just sitting at home and moping around.
That's so true. You reminded me of my clients who are in the medicine field or even lawyers. Apparently, they have dentists, they have to get some CDC points. I'm not sure, right? And these points are obtained when you travel for certain conferences or educational events. Now,
Mm.
I have a lot of clients who are spending full fare in business class to go to these events to get those CDC points, right?
Yep.
And they're spending between 10 to 30 grand per trip, depending on how they're traveling, right? And there's about 2 to 3 a year. And then there's this personal travel, there's domestic travel. Like I said, I have a client, Kel, who saved, I'm not kidding, between 4 international trips, work trips, 2 personal, and numerous domestic class trips. They have saved over $80,000.
Wow.
Now, normally, I would say it's not easy to find reward seeds because if you are fixated on a certain date, this is not for you. You've got to be a little flexible unless you book way in advance, which is again, a lot of people do, right? But if you're inclined to save money to go back into your business or to have more money for savings or shopping or whatever it is, or live in better hotels or just improve the quality of your life, it's very much possible. You may not find every single reward seed out there for every single event you want to go to, but if you plan and you follow the strategies we teach, like the laws of timing, most likely you will find those seeds. And every time you save, it's funny, I've never heard anyone say, yay, I spent 15 grand on a first class flight. But the number of times people say, man, I wish I can do it again with points.
Yeah. And look, again, another little tangent, but an underlying principle just here. When we're talking about scaling to freedom, all right, when we're talking about becoming free, a part of that process is planning ahead. If you're a person that's all about spontaneity, you might be lucky enough to get a ticket, but typically you need to put a little bit of planning in. And that's a basic principle of business. If you don't plan ahead, like I spend every year, I spend a week at the either last week of December or the first week of January, sometimes both 2 weeks, purely and simply mapping out my year. And so once you've mapped out you and you know what you're going to, you'll see that you can actually plan ahead. And once you've got this ecosystem, you're off and running. Matt, another question for you. And here's a cracker. You talked about your barber, $2,000, and he got this Japan ticket. Okay. A lot of the listeners here today are they're going to be business coaches or speakers, international speakers. So they're traveling around a lot. And some digital agencies, a lot of other business owners that are doing a little bit more than what your barber's doing. So let's just say $10,000. Okay. So they're turning over $10,000. They're $10,000 worth of expenses, etc., in their business. What would be the three biggest missed opportunities that those people are missing out on to be able to earn rewards points for premium travel?
What a good question. First of all, I like to say that barber example was an extreme example, just to say if he can do it, anybody can do it. But
Yeah.
if most of your clients are spending about 10K, it's easier, actually. The first thing I would say that nobody can argue with, I hope, being a business owner or an entrepreneur, is we all believe in ROI,
Yeah.
return on investment. If I said to you, on every dollar, you'll get 2.5 times back, are you in the green or are you in the red, Kel?
Yeah. Yeah. You're in the green.
You're in the green. So if you spent money to get points, if you spent a dollar, but you got $2.50 back in points, meaning if you can book a $2,500 ticket for $1,000 to give you a very raw example, but in terms of actual flights, if you can book a $5,000 business class seat for 2 grand, most business owners would do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat. Now, that's not exactly up to 90% less pricing that I sometimes talk about, because if you're earning organic points for free, you just pay taxes.
Yep.
I've had flights booked for, as I told you before, 100 bucks, which are actually retailing for 6,000. That happens when you're earning a lot of points for free, and we teach that too. But let's just go back to what everybody can do with their eyes closed, with just a few hours of work initially set aside, done. Every month you can earn on every bit of fees you pay through the pay.com.au platform. As an example, you can earn 2.5 times, and if I'm coaching you, it can go up to 4 cents, 4x.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a huge missed opportunity. Okay,
Absolutely.
all right. The second missed opportunity is there are ways to pay off your card and get the points as well, which I call the triple dip strategy.
Mm.
Not many people,
But
in fact, a lot of people pay their card off just through their bank account, right? If you just paid a BAS, let's say you paid a BAS of 30K with your MasterCard and you paid the ATO 1.65% fee or whatever it is they charge, what did you get for it? Most cards give you only half a point for a dollar. So you just made 15,000 points for a $30,000 bass bill, I can show you how to get 90,000 points because I'll show you how you can pay off your card and get points off that too. Crazy,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Crazy not to do it.
Crazy not to do it, right?
Crazy not to do it.
Number three, missed opportunity is thinking you're sitting on millions of points and you can afford to do bad redemptions.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I mean by that? A client I just recently met had 8 million points and they have a really high spend. We're talking $1 million a month, right? On expenses, big business. And they were spending 500,000 points per redemption. I showed them one single tool and they became our concierge client, right? So we have a concierge and a coaching service, and we found them a award seat for 180,000 points. Now, 180,000 points and 500,000 points, big difference.
Yes.
Almost 2.75x, touching 3x. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting calls from clients who are about to retire in 3 to 5 years, right? And they want to target at 20 or 25 million points so that the next few decades, they can keep on doing it, forward thinking, right?
Yeah.
So 3 missed opportunities, ROI. If you're not earning points on your business spend, or if you're only earning 1 point per dollar on your business spend, huge missed opportunities. At the very least, you can double it. Second, learn how to pay off your credit card to receive in a way that you can receive points, right? Which is what I call triple dipping. Third is actually think about where you want to go, who do you want to travel with, what are your plans, right? And when you do all 3 together, it's really hard. It's really hard to fail.
Yeah. Wow.
Does that make sense?
Oh, makes perfect sense. As I said, I've saved a bucket load. Yeah, you've told me how to get points. I'm earning. Being living in Thailand for me, because I live in Thailand, it becomes a little bit challenging to be able to earn points in some spaces. But being able to buy points at the right rates, all the strategies you put together just
Yep.
make it easy. And not only easy, saves a lot of money. And also, yeah, one of those things, folks, that Gagan has said here, and I want to reiterate it for you today, is sometimes it's not about spoiling yourself. It's not about making yourself ego or feel good, but it's about respecting yourself. You know, when you're traveling and you're traveling for business, there's nothing worse than turning up tired or sore. You know, you've been sitting in an economy seat, and I'm a big bloke. You know, like let's face it, like I don't fit very well in an economy seat. And so for me, I broke my back many years ago, and for me, traveling in economy any more than about an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I pretty much can't walk when I get out of a plane, and it can take me a day or two to recover.
Mm.
Think about it as well from the point of view you can get to your destination. You can travel maybe a little bit closer to the time. Some of us give a little bit of a buffer, which is what I normally do. I give a 2-day buffer before and after an event to give me time to get my body adjusted, ready to go again. But you could travel in a closer proximity, so in less time at the destination, but arrive refreshed. You arrived ready to do business. Yeah. And in most of these business and first class seats, if you really must and you really feel like you're missing out on time, most of them have got Wi-Fi on there, and you can actually still continue to work, and you've got a beautiful seat to sit down and a lounge in. And it's just the way to go. It's actually a good economy to travel in luxury than an economy, because you get those extra little perks that allows you to get more done, more productive.
Yeah. It's so true. I recently went to Japan. It was November 2025. And early on, I used to enjoy the perks, watch movies, eat up, drink up. Now I've learned to value my sleep.
Yes.
The last 3 international trips, and I've taken 27 in the last 18 months. I don't think many Aussies can speak to that, right? So I went to Japan. I slept about, I think it's a 9 to 10 hour journey. I slept about 6.5 hours. And when I landed, I just kept my luggage, the hotel room, just went out, to see the city, Tokyo, straight away. I don't think ideally, or I don't think many people can do that after such a long flight because your journey starts from your home. And let's be honest, a lot of us are resenting the trip itself because we know it's going to be crammed, right? These days there are check-in kiosks, so there's not those lines that there used to be like 200 people. So agreed. But then you do have the security queue. When you're traveling business, there's hardly anyone.
That's right. Get your
And if
priority
you're
pass.
traveling first, yeah,
Mm.
priority pass, you whisk through security. And if you're traveling first, sometimes they have a separate building for you.
Yeah. And it's not just on the way in, it's on the way out. So when you get on through immigration, there's that level where you've come through immigration and everything, and
Yeah.
you're getting this priority pass on the way out. So you haven't got this big long line. You think about it, this, a couple of hundred people on an aeroplane, right? And unless you get out fast, all right, you're in the back of the line and you're waiting there for everybody else and all the other airplanes that are landing at that same airport. You could be in immigration for half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Usually your first
Business
one
or
in,
first class.
last one out.
Yeah.
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 I'd like to make a correction. When I was summarizing the 3 points, I mentioned the 3 mistakes. The third one is actually learn how to redeem efficiently,
Yeah.
right? The third one, I repeat, I made a mistake there before, is how to redeem efficiently. So don't do bad redemptions where you're paying 3x the points required. If you can learn how to use them efficiently, you'll travel more.
Yeah. Cool. Mate, we're going to wrap up and I'm going to ask you a very simple question because we know if you're going to scale to freedom, if you're going to really take things on and leverage and grow, it's all about your mindset. So if somebody out there is listening right now and they're a person who spends around about that 10K a month, what's that one thing, that tip that you're going to do about them helping to think differently as a result of listening to this episode? How are they going to think differently? What's one tip you can give them to think differently moving on from here?
It's a great question. I probably answer in 2 subsets, like 1A and 1B.
Okay, go for it.
1A is make a freaking decision. Make a decision to transform your life. And I mean elevate your life. If you're traveling economy, it doesn't matter how. Just tell yourself, how many times have you heard like Jim Carrey and others, they just simply made a decision, wrote a note to themselves. Now that alone doesn't help, but it puts your mindset in a way that I'm going to do this, whether tomorrow, whether next month or next year. Now the difference is if you have someone like me in your corner, you can do it faster, but you can do it yourself too. So make a freaking decision that I'm going to travel better. Okay? Just a decision. Don't worry about the how. If you decide, the universe will take care of it and put you in the right company. Number 2 is start treating points like assets. It's not a
Yeah.
game. They are not a toy. It's not 2019 anymore. I still talk to people who are using their points to buy gift cards or using their points because it's not enough. They're using it to convert to 4x less value in dollars at the supermarket. Every time you go to Woolies, you get 2,000 points and you get this rush of saving $10. You don't know that's not actually $10. That's actually $40 if you know how to convert them properly.
Yes.
And you keep adding the 40, 40, 40, all of a sudden, you have enough points for a domestic class upgrade.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, you have enough points to a business class upgrade on a short haul international trip. And then if you keep
Correct.
it doing long enough, all of a sudden you realize, shit, I actually have enough points to go to Singapore on a confirmed business class ticket and only pay taxes. For what? Doing groceries? Get out of here.
It's all about leverage. And you just said it, changing the mindset that points are not just one of those things in the background. Once you put it into the foreground, it's probably one of the biggest missed opportunities for business growth and business leverage I've ever seen. Now, if I could say to a business owner, hey, if you spend X amount of dollars and I'll 4 times the value of that, they would jump at it. But yet when it comes to rewards points, it's not even on their radar. But we
It's
can
because
afford.
it's confusing by nature.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a very
And
comprehensive field and not easy to understand.
yeah, folks, that last comment, most people have the mindset that it's confusing. And the point system around, once you crack the code, which is exactly what Gagan's done, he's cracked the code and he's simplified a complex system. And just one conversation with Gagan will release your mind to go, hey, this is actually real. This has actually got a huge value to doing it. So we're going to have some links and everything in here for you to connect with Gagan, to have a conversation with him. He runs masterclasses on a regular basis. So Gagan, just what's the best website for them to go to start doing a little bit of research about you? And by the way, just type his name into YouTube. You'll get a whole bunch of great value in there. But where's the best for the viewers to go and catch up with you?
Literally what you say, you can go on any social media platform and type in either Gagan Gupta or Turn Left for Less YouTube channel. Turn Left for Less Instagram handle is Turn Left for Less 747, like the 747 Super Jumbo. So Turn Left for Less 747. And you watch any video of mine, you watch any post, every post will have a link to my website. So no need to remember anything. But if you want to remember, it's simply turnleftforless.com. And if you go there, you will see every month there's this month's masterclass link, and it's updated regularly. So if you go over there, click on that link, and you will be given the opportunity to register yourselves for the masterclass.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you along here, mate.
No worries, mate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I had a good time. Really enjoyed myself. Thanks, Kel.
Perfect. Folks, that's the end of another episode of Scale to Freedom. This is a place where we show you how to leverage your time, leverage your systems, build systems. And today's episode, all about how do you leverage your spending so it doesn't cost you any more, but you travel for less and you travel in luxury. It's been a great session. Go back and have a listen to it again. Please like and share with as many people as possible. We are here about scaling business owners' freedom in life. That's all. Bye for now.